Hey, community! It's the David Washington Show. It's Thursday. I am here. Woo! It has been a week. I'm tired, folks. Hey, thank you to everyone who has noticed the weight loss. I am very happy with the progress over the last maybe 8 months, 20 pounds, something like that. Over the last year, maybe 40 pounds, maybe more. I can't remember, but it's been quite the journey, and it showed that at my advanced stage, I still have the discipline and the will to do better. So, saying that, welcome back. We've talked a lot in our podcast, and tonight, as you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about something very local and is pertinent to all campaigns. And we're going to talk about the House District 35 Democratic debate among the three Democratic nominee hopefuls. We're talking about Florida House District 35, which encompasses Eastern Osceola, and Eastern Orange counties. So it's a very large district. 80% of the populace, the voting public, lives in the Orange County portion and 20% in the Osceola County portion. Osceola in this district is very rural, a lot of open spaces. Hooray for open spaces. And Orange County is very suburby-ish in a way, if I could say that. It includes parts of Lake Nona, which is growing incredibly fast, as is the northern part of Osceola County. Um, when they said, when you build it, they will come. Yeah, that's what's happening. There's a lot of people moving to Central Florida, and it just keeps coming. And the contenders at this particular forum, which was held at Jimmy Bear's Barbecue. And thank you, Jimmy Bear. The samples of the barbecue that you provided was delicious, and gonna have to visit Jimmy Bear's and have a real meal. But I shared some appetizers with some friends of mine who were my eyes and ears during the forum, taking notes for me, and we had the fried green tomatoes, which were delicious, cheese quesadilla, cheese sticks, and I had my usual Arnold Palmer with sweet tea. Got to cut back on that. That sugar's getting to me. Anyway, the contenders. We had, excuse me, we had Tom Keene, a Navy veteran, retired. We had Marucci Guzman, who is the executive director of Latino Leadership, an organization in Central Florida that helps the Hispanic community in the area. And then we had attorney, professor, and hoteler Rishi Bagga, who just happens to be, in the spirit of full disclosure, uh, my client, my firm, your political innovators, Jay in Washington, is managing Rishi's campaign. So, in full disclosure, I'll try to be as unbiased as possible. I'll try. Okay. So, let's go with Tom. We'll talk about Marushi, and then we'll talk about Richie. I do know of each individual. Obviously, I know Richie. Developed a relationship with Richie over the last 2 years because uh, we ran his first campaign, defeating Tom Keene in the 2022 Democratic primary. This is familiar ground for both candidates to face each other, Tom Keene and Rishi Bagga. Um, I know Marucci, based on interactions with people in the same circles. I know of her family, very influential family in Central Florida. Her husband is Rene Coach P. Placencia. He is the former um, state representative for House District 50, which parts of it now is House District 35. Okay. Uh, Marucci's sister in law is Susan Placencia, who is the House District, I'm sorry, who is the state representative, current state representative, and seeking reelection in House District 43, just north of 35. So we've got a little legacy politicians going here, which I'm not a big fan of. It is what it is, and I hope that the Democratic primary special election voters in House District 35, the special election in House District 35, which is happening November 7th, and also the regular election next year in 2024. I hope voters recognize the fact that there are other candidates who are just as good as any legacy politician seeking to run for office. Now, saying that, let's break it down. Um, and I'm not going to go too deep. I'll talk about each candidate, but I'll try to keep it based on the facts and just let you know how I think they did as candidates in the first face-to-face forum that they've had. Let's start with Tom. I thought Tom had opportunities that he took advantage of in answering questions. He said things in uncertain terms, where he stood, and there were sparks of Tom rallying, um, getting the viewer to say, hey, Tom's got that fire. It was a small fire. It was a small fire. However, Tom hit some chords that I was very pleased to hear. And he was straightforward. All the Democrats pretty much agreed with one another. However, what was the level of passion? Where was the for each of them? Where was the level of passion that each of them had? And for Tom Keene, he exhibited a little bit more at the right places during that forum, and I congratulated him for doing that. A good campaign consultant will tell another candidate or another campaign, you're doing good. I think that's courteous, that's ethical, that's good sportsmanship, and Tom did good. And of course, there's rooms to improve. However, for the most part, there were times where I was mouthing yes, or I would clap enthusiastically. So good for Tom. Um, for the most part, on the issues, the answers were what you expect Democrats would say. I mean, no one went off the script. It was as I described to a friend in a text, it was pretty much mild mannered. Um, let's talk about Marucci. She's not a seasoned politician, despite being surrounded by people in her family who are. Um, she leaned into her being female, of course, and being a mother, of course, not so much about being a wife, which was very curious. And she made a comment which struck a chord with me towards the end. And you have to look at this. It's at the hour and 50th minute mark. If you go to the Osceola Action Committee Facebook page, I'm sorry, it was the Osceola um, Action Committee, political committee that hosted this forum. So, bravo to them. Bravo. It went well. Um, you could tell that Mariucci was not as well versed in the law. Um, a lot of her answers were anecdotal. A lot of her answers came from her feelings. Um, uh, on on initial appearance, Mariucci, if there's a generic Democrat candidate, it would be her. And this is an opportunity for Tom and for Richie in their campaigns to define her as a candidate. Um, she pretty much stayed, within the typical Democratic, talking points. There was nothing that really, got me excited. It was it was okay. There was a statement towards the end. Yes, a statement towards the end about men being easy, and she doubled down on it at the hour and 50th minute mark, and I was like, wow, it was kind of dismissive of men, and I think if she was challenged on that, and I know it was towards the end of this very long forum. Um, we would have gotten some really good debate. And I don't know what the relationship there is between her and former Representative Coach P, but wow, that was telling. And we'll see how the two campaigns work that into their strategy. And look at Marucci and see her as a viable candidate because she does come with resources. Again, very influential family that she comes from with resources, with boots on the ground, with dollars in the bank account, with an impressive network. She and her family are very close friends with the outgoing or the retired state rep, Fred Hawkins, who's now, believe it or not, Fred Hawkins Jr. is now the president of South State, no, South Florida. I don't know. I'm so tired. He's the president of a local college, and wow, cronyism does his work. That's all I have to say about that. But we'll move on to Rishi Bagga. And again, Rishi's our client. And of course, there were some words of wisdom that we gave Richie in preparation for this particular forum. And it was the very first one. And this was kind of like an opportunity for us to set a baseline for his performance and the performance of the other candidates. And now that we have a baseline of his performance, we know what needs to happen when he's in another debate, which there will be other debates and forums. There's no doubt about that. But we'll know, and we've talked about already, what needs to improve. And Richie will tell you, he didn't hit his stride. He did come off as the most knowledgeable of law, of current legislation, of legislation that was passed and improved upon by state legislators, Republican state legislators, and Governor DeSantis. Um, very knowledgeable about the inner workings of state government, of local government, of how laws work. And Richie kind of got caught up in the weeds, and it was very analytical and very professory, and it was like attending class in a way. And so we talked about that, and we talked about some other things that would, make him more endearing to the um, voting public, whether it's behind the lens or in the room. There are things that Richie, that all the candidates can improve upon. I'm sure each team will have their people point out some improvements that could be made, like we will for Richie. And he's already taking some steps to do that. Um, I I typically, and thank goodness I had other people there with me who were also my eyes and ears and sat next to me and kind of kept me, calm because I get worked up about this stuff. This is, again, you know, politics is my passion. It's my second career. I've been successful in both careers. I have a great team behind me. I have a great team in front of me. I'm working with great people. And just like, oh, I wish I was on that stage because I know exactly what to say and how to say it. And, you know, it, but it's fun. We did not do certain things, and we did certain things in preparation for this forum, this very first forum, to again set a baseline. And now that we know where we're at, we hope to see improvement. We hope to see a great deal more. And we expect our opponents to deliver more. So, this is going to be fun. This is Florida House District 35 special election. Um, in November 7th of this year's election day. And we know where our votes are. And we really do. We know where our votes are. We know how to get them. It's just a matter of gathering up the troops and getting after those votes. Period. That's just how it is. So I don't want to say too much. If you want to engage with me and talk a little bit more about the House District 35 Democratic Primary Candidates Forum, please, first of all, go to the Osceola Action Committee Facebook page and look for the July 26th, July 26th forum with the Democrats and watch it, and then let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let me know what your thoughts are about this, and let me know if I'm right or wrong. I love to hear your opinion. We all have one, and I like for you to share your opinion. And let's have a discourse. Let's have a conversation, and that's why we're here. We want to, encourage you and encourage us to engage one another and to speak to one another in civilized tones and talk honestly about the state of politics in our lives. Um, I I hope to see you, if you live here in Central Florida, out at some of these debates. Um, if you see me on the street, please don't hesitate to say hello, David Washington. I had someone do that recently, a fan of the show. Hi. And it was very cool that someone recognized me and said my name and say, "You're David Washington from the David Washington Show. I watch you," and that was so good. And I love to finish the conversation with the young lady. We were cut off. However, please, if you're watching, just DM me, go to our socials, or give us a call, and just let us know your name and how to reach you, and we'll would love to have a conversation. Yeah, this is what I do. And I can go on and on. And trust me, I can go on and on about last night's forum. I didn't go to bed until about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock this morning because I was talking to our client, Rishi, who I believe, of course, is the best candidate to win the nomination and eventually win the seat for HD 35. And then taking some notes and just kind of running things through my head um, about what we can do next to improve upon our standing in this race. You know, people talk about a whole bunch of money being in this race. And again, it's not, money is important, but damn good strategy is even more important. And that is what we're good at. We're your political innovators. And at JN Washington, we pride ourselves on being able to pivot when things are good or bad, but be able to be flexible enough to determine the best strategy in a campaign and get you an elected running for reelection or a first time candidate running for office. We know how to get you when you follow the strategy, you have a better chance, a high likelihood of winning. That's it. Follow the strategy, dedicate your resources, your time, your energy to implementing that strategy, and you have a higher chance of winning your election. Period. It is what it is, right? So, if you like what you hear, if you want to learn more, please subscribe, like, share, but more importantly, we want to engage with you. We want to engage with you on our socials. So please do not hesitate. Talk to us, write to us. LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. I'm still going to call it Twitter, not X. I'm going to X you. I'm going to tweet you. Come on. Come on, Elon. God damn. Message us. Contact us through our website, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. We're there. Okay, so I really appreciate everything that you all do. You're our community, and I couldn't do this without you. And I enjoy what I do, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. I'm David Washington, and this is the David Washington Show. We will see you the next time. Peace. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I love this music, don't you? I'm tired. We're out of here. So, if you stuck around, here's a little secret sauce. So, if people think that they can win House District 35 because they're a certain gender, come from a certain family, have the inside route, the inside track because of political ties and network, we're ready for it. One of the best campaigns I've ever involved myself with. Please stay tuned. Keep an eye out for Rishi Bagga, House District 35, rishibagga.com. Follow us. Visit our website. There's so much going on. I'm so tired. God bless. Thank you, community. We're your political innovators. I'm David Washington. This is the David Washington Show. Take care.